Welcome to ZIA TV, covering small cap stocks and emerging companies. Today we're pleased to welcome AZRX CEO Thijs Spoor. Tell us a little bit, Thijs, about the problems your product solves.
Sure, will do, and thank you for having me on your program. Our problem is really, patients out there that are missing their pancreas have a great problem on nutrition and trying to actually get their nutrition from their food, and eating their food every day causes problems because they can't digest it properly. We work to help patients whose pancreas is not working properly, and there's two kinds of those patients. We help them actually digest the fat from their food. So if you think really sort of high level, you eat proteins, you eat carbohydrates, and you eat fats. And your body has various ways to help you digest those foods. Your saliva helps you digest your carbohydrates. Your stomach acids and your gut bacteria will actually help you digest your proteins. But you need your pancreas to digest fats. So in patients who are missing their pancreatic function, they actually need some way to actually help digest their fat. And the enzyme that you're missing is something called a lipase. Lipase is an enzyme that breaks up fat. And in patients with either cystic fibrosis, if they're young, or chronic pancreatitis if they're older, they're missing the ability to actually create lipase, or enough lipase to actually help it digest their food and the fat in their food. What we actually hope to do is help patients who currently have this problem. Right now, there actually is an alternative. Patients can actually go and take what's essentially dried up pig pancreas and take pig pancreas extract, of which they're taking 25 to 40 a day. And if they're taking 25 to 40 pills a day, that's really tough for them to actually figure out what to do. So we think we can actually help them get down to 5 or 8 pills a day versus 25 to 40.
That's interesting. So does your patient profile also include diabetics whose pancreas has stopped producing?
Well, that's an interesting question, because the pancreas is a really cool organ. The pancreas has two functions, endocrine and exocrine. What that means is it actually secretes stuff into the blood and actually secretes stuff into your digestive tract. So patients with diabetes, the pancreas stops working and they're not getting insulin going into the blood properly. On the other side, with the exocrine function, you actually have this issue where you actually don't have enough enzymes going into the digestive tract. And so one of the risk factors for chronic pancreatitis is diabetes. You actually also have it from surgery, trauma, alcoholism, pancreatic cancer. All those things can impact an adult. And then on the sort of child side of things, when kids are sort of 2 to 4 years old, if they have cystic fibrosis, they're actually going to get physically blocked and scars on their pancreatic ducts, which means they'll be on drug the rest of their lives.
What have the analysts said about your stock?
So the analysts, I'm a former research analyst myself, and so I think analysts look at the stock and the company with a critical profile. And what their job is to say, does the science make sense? Are the markets really big? And can this company in particular actually go and address this problem? So what the analysts are saying is that clearly the market's really big. There's about $1 billion worth of products sold right now in the United States alone that involves ground up pig pancreas that's actually used for treating these patients. When it comes to what we're trying to do, we actually found a really cool yeast product that actually, it's yeast derived, and so it's we think, a much safer way to go by actually taking a lot of animal risk out of the supply chain. And so if we can actually have a yeast option that's acid stable, then that checks boxes for the analysts. And lastly, the analysts are pretty excited that we're actually in the middle of a phase 2 study, and we expect data to be coming out shortly.
Is there any upcoming company news that you want to share with us?
So I have to be very careful about fair disclosure and being appropriate with our filings. We disclose an awful lot through our SEC filings, but coming up, investors should really think about, we've publicly announced that we actually have patients enrolling into a trial. The trial enrollment is open label, so we see the results real time in the company as they come out. And really what it comes down to is that sometime over the next sort of several months, we're going to be talking more and more about the trial and seeing how those patients come out. We've disclosed a little bit in April in terms of some of the results, and investors should expect us to talk more and more about the exciting results we think we're getting from this program.
Well, thanks for joining us. We look forward to talking with you in the future here on ZIA TV. In the meantime, you can read the full Zacks report on AzurRx just by going to scr.zacks.com.